I grew up in Waukesha. My father was a factory worker. My mother was a nurse. You know, grew up in a normal family, but I was kind of different from the other kids. You know, more of a rebel. I actually skipped school for 1 year without them knowing it up until the last day of school. You know, my father was pretty angry at me. You know, you don't want to go to school, you have to work or something. I told him I wanted to join the military, and they were both on it. Yeah, maybe this will straighten them out. I entered the Navy and went to boot camp Great Lakes. I would say about 2 weeks before graduation, we were getting our orders where we were going. And the ship I was going to was in Vietnam. As soon as I got to the Philippines, I realized this is for real. And it never dawned on me, you know, that I was going to be on a ship that was actually a floating bomb. It was an ammunition ship. Once I did get on the ship, I was really scared. And I remember one of the guys that had been on that ship for quite some time. You know, he told me, he said, "Hey, look, you need to settle down." And he said, "I got something for you to settle down." All right, well, you know, hand me a joint and a beer, and I was off to the races. At the time I came home, they did not like Vietnam veterans. Met my wife, was still partying really heavily then. We ended up getting married, had a couple kids, but you know, and I thought, okay, this is going to straighten me out. My dad, you know, said, you know, you got to get, you know, you got to get yourself together. You have a lot of responsibilities here now. Okay, I will, but never happened, you know. I knew some guys down in Florida. Their father wanted to buy a truck. They wanted something else. So I said, yeah, I could hook you guys up. So I went down to Florida, met the guy that they wanted this deal to go down with, and the guy was very nervous. I knew there was something up, but they assured me, no, no, no. So I went ahead and got a little bit of weight, had it sent down to Florida, and the next day we met with the people and was arrested. I was arrested for trafficking, delivery. Made the news down in Florida. At that time, my brother was living down there, and he was shocked. I was shocked, you know, and I was looking at 30 years prison time. By this time, you know, we had well, my 2 kids from Arizona, and Connie and I had 2 kids. You know, I BS'd that lady for 20 years. She's a good mother. She still is a good mother. So we finally got divorced, and I wasn't seeing how I was destroying everything around me. I actually hit a cow on my bike one night coming in, and you know, so at that point, that's when I found out I had cancer. It moved from testicular cancer to into my kidneys. They stopped that, and then all of a sudden it was in my liver. And I thought, I gotta come home. I came home and I started drinking again, and trying to go through chemo, doing the same thing like that, all that stuff. And finally, you know, the doctors at the VA told me, hey man, you gotta settle down, you gotta slow down, otherwise this is not gonna work. And so I did slow down, and about 8 weeks after I slowed down, lo and behold, there was no cancer left. Still seeing doctors at the VA. They determined that I had PTSD. There was a time we were heading back to the States, and with a full load of ammunition. You know, we had 80,000 tons of ammunition on there. By ammunition, it's bombs, you know, regular ammo. The engine room caught on fire, and we lost power, we lost everything, and the only thing myself and among others could think of, we're gonna blow up. We're gonna blow up. The men down in the engine room were able to put it out, but we drifted for almost 18 hours. I know a lot of people don't understand that when you're out in the middle of the ocean at night, there's nothing. You can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. So it's just you're on the we were on the edge for quite a long time. And I guess that's where my PTSD came into effect with a lot of what happened that day, that night. That's where all my problems were. And I was offered help years ago, but of course I'm a tough guy, so tough guys don't take help. They take, they can solve their problems, but finally I gave in. I'm glad I did. No. I'm hoping to. I have to fix myself. Before I have before we could before we can have a relationship. A lot of damage there. But like I say, I got to fix myself first, and not to prove anything, but to show that I can be a better man. Think you're doing right, but you're not. I was more of a dictator than a father, and learning about that, and slowly but surely, with the help of my my therapist, she'll help me get through this. And that's really crazy, because guys like me don't go to therapists. And they always try to figure it out. But you know what? I've been trying to figure it out for probably 50 years now, and the path I have lived was for a reason, and now I'm seeing that reason, being in AA, and it gives me a chance to let other people know that what I've done is not your normal way of living, and hopefully somebody will take a piece of my story and can connect with it, and see there's hope for each and every one of us. It's not good to dwell on the past, and that's part of the thing of, I gotta say, let go, let life, that's what you gotta do, is let go of things, man. It's open road. I remember one of the guys telling me one time, it's, don't look back, man. You're not going that way, just keep going, looking forward, so.